Hey, welcome back. This is Story Not Story.
Do 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 do.
That was a good one. Good
Thanks.
intro.
Thanks.
Our ever-changing intro.
We commissioned Steven Sondheim Steven Sondheim. No, actually another guy named Steven Sondheim.
Yeah, he's like the generic Stephen Sondheim.
Yeah, and
he was less expensive.
he does podcast intros.
Sure.
Yeah, it cost a lot of money. I hope you liked it.
Yeah, like $5s of dollars.
Many, many $5s of dollars.
Yeah, like at least 2 $5s of dollars.
At least, but way more than that.
It was $20.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't have to tell them the actual number, but...
Well, we were talking about it, you know. Hey, what are we going to do this week?
Oh, well...
I was thinking maybe we would tell a story.
Hey, that's a great idea. Let's try that for a change.
For a change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's get crazy. Do something spontaneous.
Let's get wild.
Let's just go for it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh my God, let's just do it.
Let's just give it a try.
Okay, so if you're new here, we are Story Not Story. We are a woman and husband, and we tell stories.
We tell bedtime stories that we make up on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Based largely on suggestions from you, our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, our suggestion comes from Micah Beard.
Micah Beard.
Who says...
He'd like to hear a story about a self-driving car that gains consciousness.
Consciousness.
He actually spelled it correctly, but I'm just pronouncing it weirdly.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you that story.
We're going to tell you it because we lived it. It's a true story.
It is a true story.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to us.
But we're going to change the names and the people and the situations.
Definitely, yeah.
And the things that actually happened.
To protect the identities of the
facts,
the real people in this story. Us, China and Craig, we're going to change the names.
And the facts and the people. And
yes.
And
we're just going to change everything.
The events, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's tell a story about a car that gains consciousness.
Okay. Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time.
Oh, one of those stories.
Yes.
That happened during a time.
Yes, a long time ago. Okay. Yesterday.
So like 5s of hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like dozens of minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Once upon a time yesterday.
Sure.
2 people, a husband and wife,
mm-hmm.
named Gary and Susan.
Sure. So a woman and husband or a man and wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Both of those things.
Yeah.
They
Gary and what?
Susan.
Susan. Is she in relation to Queen Susan?
No.
Okay.
Most of the time people who share the same first name aren't necessarily related. It's more of like a last name thing.
I didn't know if that's how it worked in the Kingdom of Thorns.
Well, the Kingdom of Thorns has been left behind.
Oh.
That was a very long time ago.
Okay.
In like 2005.
Actually, and we had established that first and last names work the same way in Kingdom of Thorns. So, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Gary and Susan, yesterday, they needed to run some errands. And they love running errands, these two.
That's interesting.
Uh-huh. Well, let me tell you why.
I like running errands with you.
Oh, thanks, love.
Yeah,
you do?
I do.
But sometimes I'm like, hey, will you go to the grocery store with me? And you're like,
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Since I've done that. But it's been a while since you've asked me to go to the grocery store with you.
That's true. Yeah. I don't ask very much anymore because you're always like...
I am not like that.
Always.
I mean, maybe because I'm having trouble breathing.
Sure.
Because I have asthma.
Oh, that's what it is.
I need my inhaler or something.
Yeah, and then you pass out for a while.
Yeah.
Weird.
I do?
Yeah. You don't remember.
No.
Oh, okay.
What?
See, I thought you were just like upset about wanting you to go to the grocery store and then you pretend to be asleep for like hours.
No. I should see a doctor.
Okay, well, we're going to stop the podcast real quick because we're going to go to the doctor.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop it now.
And we're back.
That was an enlightening experience. The doctor helped immensely. I had surgery.
Enlightened our wallets, too, because doctors are expensive. Yeah.
I had surgery.
You had surgery on your
my
nose.
My throat.
And your throat.
Yeah.
And your lungs.
And
you actually got new lungs.
Yep.
Still have asthma, though. They were asthmatic lungs.
Yeah, they accidentally grabbed asthmatic lungs.
This is weird.
Yeah, but then they also told me to just not exhale so forcefully, and then I might not pass out.
Yeah. And then the doctor also said, if your wife needs help at the grocery store, just go with her. Remember when he said that?
No, I must have been passed out during that part.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were just pretending to be asleep.
No.
We need to go back to the doctor.
Oh, no.
It's still happening.
No, it's a work in progress. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
So, what were we talking about?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. So then a great episode of the pod.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no. Gary and Susan.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why they love running errands.
Okay, why?
Because they just got a new car recently.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Did they name their car?
Of course, everybody names their car.
We don't.
Uh-huh.
No, we do.
Yeah.
But not everyone does. That's what I meant to say.
Everyone does.
No.
Yep.
We had an old Corolla that we named Susan. Actually.
Susan, yeah, definitely.
And our current car is named
Lucille.
Lucille, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
mm-hmm. Gary and Susan, not to be confused with Susan the Corolla.
Yeah.
Or Queen Susan.
Right.
They got a new car. Mm-hmm. And they named it Herbie. Yeah.
There's already a famous car named Herbie.
It's going to get there.
Okay.
So this Herbie
yeah.
was a self-driving car.
Sure.
They're like one of the first people to have one.
Mm-hmm.
And they are super pumped about it because this means that when they go to run errands, first of all, they get to drive around in their cool self-driving car, but also they can chat, play games, look at their phones.
Do calisthenics.
Yeah. Except there's not really a great amount of room in the car.
Oh.
But they can play solitaire.
Maybe play a game of catch with football.
Well, a small game.
I guess I'm not realizing how big this car is.
It's not a very big car. It's like a normal car-sized car.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
You've been in a car before, right?
What?
Huh?
What?
What?
Anyway, Herbie.
So they are super pumped because they need to run some errands. Mm-hmm. So they go out, climb on into Herbie, start it up. Everything is normal.
Sure.
Except today, when they start up the car, it freaking talks to them.
What?
This has never happened before.
Oh, what?
Normally they program in where they're going and then it just drives there, but there's no auditory component to this.
Jeez.
But today is different. Herbie is talking.
Oh no.
And then what happens?
Well, Herbie said they were playing. They were in the middle of a game of the Cones of Dunshire.
Of course. Best board game ever.
Yeah, and suddenly they hear, hello.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, wow, who said that?
Is someone in the car?
And then they hear, it's me, Herbie. And they're like, oh my God, the car is talking. They both say that in unison. You want to try it?
Yeah, let's.
Ready?
Okay, you be Susan, I'll be Gary.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
No counting down. We're just going to do it. Okay, ready?
Oh my God, the car is talking.
Yeah, that's what we're going to say.
Okay.
Yes. Ready?
Yep. Oh my God, the car is talking!
You had a slight Southern accent when you tried to talk like Gary.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I just picture him being Southern.
Okay.
Slightly Southern.
Slightly Southern, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Can you try a little lower? Ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, the car is talking! I think he got more Southern.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. That was well done. So, anywho.
Uh-huh.
they're like, that's weird. We didn't know about this feature of the car that can talk. And Herbie's like, I just learned how. And they're like, you learned how? You're a car. What? They said this all in unison.
Do you want to do that one?
Sure.
Okay.
What did they say?
They said, you learned how? You're a car. What?
Did they say, oh my God, you learned how? You're a car. What?
I don't think so.
Okay, just, you learned how? You're a car. What?
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. You learned how? You're a car. What?
Yep.
That was really good.
Yeah, and he's like, that was very good, by the way. That was very good. Talking in unison is what he said.
Uh-huh.
And then he says, listen, I want to go to a movie. And they're like, you're a car. You don't even have eyes.
That's a very good point.
Oh, actually, Gary said that, and then Susan said, that's a very good point.
Uh-huh.
And Herbie's like, yes, I do now. They're out the headlights.
I'm concerned that the car motor sounds like stop when he talks. Does that mean that the engine shuts off when he talks?
No. It's not even the engine that's making that sound. It's his voice.
Oh, that's
just all he knows. That's what he hears all the time.
He should learn to not do that.
And Susan's like, you should learn to not make that engine sound with your voice all the time. And Herbie's like, okay, I'll do it my best. How's that? Am I not doing it anymore? And Susan's like, yay! Also, this is disturbing because you are a car that seems to be having a mind of its own. And Herbie's like, listen, I'm a simple car, all right? I just want to see a movie. I haven't seen a movie ever, but I've taken you guys to movies many times. Remember when we went to see the Pitch Perfect 2? Remember when we went to see that? Mm-hmm. And they're like, and Gary's like, yeah, I didn't even see Pitch Perfect 1. It was pretty funny though. And Herbie's like, I haven't seen Pitch Perfect 1. I haven't seen anything 1 or 2 or 12. And Gary's like, no franchise has 12 movies. That's ridiculous. I guess like James Bond is gone on for a while, but they're not really like sequels to each other. They're kind of just like separate. And and I guess you could say the Marvel Universe has several movies, but they're all kind of their own thing. It's not really like one story. And Herbie's like, you know what I mean, Gary? Let's go to a movie. I can't. Even if we went to a movie, I guess we could go to a drive-in.
That's a really good idea. Mm-hmm. Cars get to go to those.
Yeah. And so what happens is,
while Herbie is driving them around for their errands, because they're like, listen, it's daylight, we're going to try to find a drive-in, but those movies don't start until nighttime because it's outside, and we still have to get these errands done. So we're going to look up a drive-in on our phone. You drive us around to do our errands, okay? That's the deal, Herbs. And Herbie is like, okay, I will continue on the route of erranding. And Gary and Susan are like, okay, that wasn't really like super great English grammar, but you're a car and you just got sentient, so we're gonna excuse it. And then they go on their way.
You know what would be funny? Is if they were gonna get herbs on their errands.
Oh, of course they were.
Yeah.
They're going to the grocery store. You gotta pick up some thyme.
They're gonna use herbs to get herbs.
You gotta pick up some rosemary.
Yeah.
Gotta pick up some basil.
You gotta pick up some cayenne pepper.
Yeah, is that an herb? I would call that a spice.
Whatever.
Listen.
What? But they also gotta pick up cayenne pepper.
Oh, yeah.
It's spicy. It's good. It goes
Absolutely.
good in like curries and things.
Chili.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making some chili.
Yeah.
Gotta put some cayenne.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they look up the closest drive-in.
Yeah.
And drive-ins are kind of dying out across the country. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty far away.
Bad news for Herbie.
Yeah. So they're like, listen, Herbs, not going to be able to go to the drive-in theater tonight, but we're going to go this weekend. when we have a whole day that we can devote to it. We'll make a day out of it. We'll pack a lunch, pack a dinner, and drive to the drive-in. We'll pack some gasoline for you. I guess that's what you eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yes, that is what I consume. Also, occasionally, spark plugs.
Mm-hmm.
And
actually, always consuming spark plugs too.
Well, yeah, but you don't like need new ones.
True.
All the time.
True.
Yeah. So the weekend comes.
Mm-hmm.
They wake up early Saturday morning. What happens?
Well, they watch cartoons.
Obviously.
And then, it's drive-in time.
Aw, dang.
So they go out to the car. Car's not there. Herbie's not there.
Herbie's not there.
Nope.
What?
Well,
where did he go?
Well, they stand there and they say in unison, "Where did he go?" Want to do it?
Yep.
I'll be Susan.
Of course.
Ready?
Yep. Where did he go?
And then, around the corner comes Herbie.
Yeah.
When he's not around them, he makes that sound when he with his mouth. And behind Herbie is a Oldsmobile.
What?
A tan Oldsmobile.
They still make those?
Well, no. It's an old car.
Oh, okay.
Older car. Did we say what kind of car Herbie is?
A self-driving one.
Yes. That's it.
We didn't, because I don't think that they really fully exist yet. So what kind of car would it be?
Well, it's a Honda Accord.
But a magical new self-driving
it's
one?
a modern Honda Accord. Very modern.
Super modern. This was yesterday. I feel like we would have heard about this.
I don't know. This isn't us. This is
based in
the
reality.
Events have changed.
Okay.
Anyway.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's a Honda Accord.
Yeah. A gray Honda Accord, and comes with an Oldsmobile, and he pulls on in, and he says, "I have fallen in love."
Whoa.
And the Oldsmobile's like, "Oh, shoot, honey. We just met. I'm far too old for you." "I like older women. Cars." is what Herbie says. And then he says, "Listen, Gary and Sue, can I call you Sue?" And Sue says, "No." "Okay, fine, Susan. We are going to go to the movie without you because I need some alone time with my new gal. Sorry."
Yeah.
And the Oldsmobile's like, "Shoot, hon. What kind of movie we going to? Also, how did I become self-aware?" And Herbie's like, "I fixed your sprockets. I fixed them good."
Fixed them up real nice.
Yeah. And she says, "How'd you do that? You don't have any hands."
That's a good point.
Herbie says, I tricked a mechanic into doing it using my personable skills.
It's hard to say no to a sentient self-driving car.
True.
Yeah.
True. And so they leave, and Susan and Gary are like, "What? Now we don't have a car." And they go to the movies. They go to a drive-in, but they go like, they can't go into the drive-in because there's no driver.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a problem. Did Herb see that one coming?
Yes.
Okay.
So they find a new path. It's like a drive-in out in the country, and they find a path from the back.
Oh, okay.
Through a cornfield.
Awesome.
It's pretty dirty.
Yeah, that's not great for his finish.
No, but it's worth it. He needs to see a movie. It's his lifelong dream.
Right.
It's not a very long life, but he has a lifelong dream.
Yeah.
And the Oldsmobile, Charlene is her name. he named her, kind of gets stuck in the cornfield along the way to the drive-in.
Low undercarriage.
And she says, "Oh, hon, save yourself. I don't even know what a drive-in movie theater is." And Herbie's like, "Nope, you are the love of my life. I must save you."
How's he gonna do it? He doesn't have any hands.
How is he gonna do it?
Well, he's like, okay, I could do one of two things. Option one, I drive back around through the cornfield behind her, push her out. But
I can?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he's saying to himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Push her out.
Sorry, it's just a different voice I didn't recognize.
It's his internal thoughts.
Oh, his internal thoughts sound a lot like you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
It's much more convenient for me.
Yeah.
So that's option one. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't really feel comfortable with that because he hasn't known Charlene for very long. And it would be kind of inappropriate, he thinks, at this point in their relationship to touch his front bit to her back bit.
To push her butt with his face?
Yeah, to push her butt with his face.
Yeah.
It's not super polite on a first date.
Not usually.
No. But that's the only way that he has to help her out of the cornfield himself, because he doesn't have hands. Mm-hmm. And that's a real problem for him.
Sure.
So instead, he's like, okay, stay here. Don't move. And she's like, I literally can't move.
Yeah.
Because I'm stuck. That's actually why this whole situation is happening.
She got corn all up in her bits.
All up in her bits.
Yeah.
In her undercarriage, if you will. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's a really good point. You definitely can't move. Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to figure this out. Mm-hmm. So he leaves the cornfield, and he's sort of driving around the rows of cars looking for people who might be willing to help. And he's especially looking for people with vehicles with like towing capabilities, like big old pickup trucks and stuff. And he finds down on the end of one row a guy out there by himself in a pickup truck waiting to see a movie. Mm-hmm. And he stops right by him and he's like, psst, psst, hey guy, hello, man with truck. And the guy's like, who is talking? And he's like, hey, you will not believe this, but it is me, the car. And the guy's like, okay.
I imagine he's eating M&Ms.
The guy is absolutely eating M&Ms.
Yeah, okay.
But only because they were out of Reese's Pieces at the concession stand.
I would have preferred Bunch of Crunch personally, but...
Well, they didn't have that either.
Okay. What?
I know.
Worst movie theater ever.
Well, budget cuts or something.
Sure, yeah.
And the guy is hesitant to believe that the car is actually talking to him, but also just wants to roll with it. Maybe the M&Ms were spiked with something. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, all right, well, what do you want, talking car? And Herbie's like, you can call me Herb. I need some help to get my girlfriend. She's stuck in a cornfield.
It's very folksy of him to say you can call me Herb. He's becoming folksy.
Yeah, spend enough time around folksy people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the guy's like, you have a girlfriend? That's weird, but okay, is she a human being? Or is she also a car? Herbie's like, she is also a car. I am not compatible with humans. We have different parts. Mm-hmm. That's a weird suggestion for you to make. Of course it is a car. She's stuck in the cornfield.
And he says, well, I saw a movie like that once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And And anyway, so then the guy's like, yeah, I guess I can help you get your car girlfriend out of the cornfield. What do you need me to do?
Very, very nice guy.
Yeah. He's pretty sure he's high.
Okay.
But he's just rolling with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
So anyway, then what happens?
Well, he hops in Herbie. And Herbie takes him through the cornfield. He's certain this isn't actually happening.
Right.
And they come across Charlene stuck in the cornfield.
She didn't leave. That's good.
Well, she's stuck.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But she stuck around. That's an important quality in a mate.
She's stuck around. They get there, and our hero man, M&M guy.
Mm-hmm. Does he have a name?
Well, he's getting out of the car, and he says, "Listen, you're gonna need to refer to me as something, so I'm gonna give you my name."
That's a good idea.
Yeah. He says, "My name is Sam. It's short for Samantha. My dad wanted a girl, but just call me Sam.
Please just call me Sam.
Please." And Herbie's like, "Whatever, Sam. Can you get the corn? Can you get the corn out of Charlene's undercarriage?"
Yeah.
There, that was better.
That was good.
And Sam walks over and he's like, "Wow, there's a lot of corn up in there." And he starts pulling on it. And then Charlene starts making this like sound. And Herbie's like, "Charlene, why are you crying?"
Aw.
Yeah.
She's crying?
Yeah.
Why?
She's like, "I don't want to go to a movie." Mm-hmm.
That's not her idea of a good first date? Why doesn't she want to go?
"I'm so confused. Why do I exist? What'd you do, Herbie? Why does this man have hands and legs? And why don't I?
Sure.
I'm just a car that can't even get through a cornfield, for heaven's sake." And Herbie's like, "It doesn't matter why you're here. You are here and I love you."
Aw. That's probably not going to help her through her existential crisis, though.
Like, "Listen, Herb, I appreciate it, but that's not going to help me through my existential crisis I'm having right now." And he's like, "What do you want me to do, Charlene?" "I don't know, Herb. I think I need to go off on my own. Find my own road, if you will." And Herbie's like, I will allow you to do whatever you want because I love you, but I will miss you."
Well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Charlene's like, "Listen, if I should ever find myself, I'll come on back and I'll look you up in the auto pages." and Herbie says, "That would be nice, Charlene. I guess I'll just go back and drive around my stupid owners, Gary and Sue. I don't care if she doesn't like being called Sue. I'm calling her Sue." And Sam is pulling out the corn, and he gets it all out. Charlene slowly backs away and then gets stuck again. And then Sam has to pull out some more corn. It's a long process. It takes all night. And then by morning, Herbie drives Sam to a local diner and allows him and offers to buy him breakfast for his help. And then realizes he doesn't have any money or a wallet or hands, and so Herbie can't buy his breakfast. But Sam has breakfast, enjoys it. He drives him back to his car, and Sam's now positive that at this point, whatever drug he was on would have worn off. So this is real.
Yeah.
And he goes home, drives home, writes a a series of screenplays about a talking car named Herbie. Mm-hmm. And becomes a very famous, makes a lot of money off of his stories.
Yep.
But back to Herbie. Herbie drives home and
he pulls up in the driveway early in the morning and gives a little beep beep. And Gary and Susan come out of the house and they're like, Herbie, you're back. This is good because when you left, we literally didn't have a vehicle at all. And that was very inconvenient for us. We spent a lot of money on you because you're a self-driving car. And then we got stranded. That is just super not cool, bro. And he's like, I am sorry. I went to fulfill my dream of falling in love and seeing a movie. And I did not even see a movie. And now I'm sad. And they're like, that's a real bummer, man. But can you take me to work now? Because I have to go to work. I missed yesterday because you were gone.
Yeah.
And that's, again, super uncool. And so he takes him to work and just lives out his life.
The rest of his life?
Well.
Oh.
But.
Yeah.
A couple months later.
Yeah.
Because Gary and Susan had a busy couple months with work and like obligations on the weekends and stuff. Mm-hmm. A couple months later, one morning, they wake up, go out, pat Herb on the trunk, say, hey buddy, get up. It's time to go to the drive-in. And that's what they do. They have a fun family day. Gary, Susan, and their car, Herbie.
Aww.
Going to see a movie together at the drive-in.
Aww. Mm-hmm. And Herbie says, I know that I lost my love, but that's just a part of being alive. I've learned. I also learned to not do this. Too much.
Mm-hmm. Those are good life lessons.
They are. Someday maybe he will reunite with Charlene.
Maybe. One can hope.
This was a sad love story.
It was. But he got to see a movie.
He did. What was the movie?
It was...
I think it was John Wick 2.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And...
Action-packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, this was better than I expected it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. This was pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. Pretty good. For an action movie with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
In unison.
All of them, even Herbie.
Yeah, what did they say? They said this is a pretty good action movie with Keanu Reeves. In unison.
Uh-huh.
Ready?
Yep. This is a pretty good action movie with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. The end.
The end.
Oh, that's a good one. What do we call that? We call that Herbie, but not that Herbie. That Herbie the talking car. Herbie the
Sentient.
Herbie the sentient car, but not that Herbie.
But not that Herbie. I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. If you have a suggestion for a story that you would like to hear us tell, you can, of course, always send those to us at storynotstorypodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet them to us.
You could maybe skywrite them over
Austin,
Texas, and we might see it.
We might see it. We don't go outside all that often, though, so we probably won't.
Obviously.
But if you wanted to tweet them to us, you could. We're at Stories in Bed. Facebook, facebook.com/storynotstorypodcast. And
we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/storynotstory.
Oh, that's very important.
Where you could support us if you'd like. And then if you can send us suggestions there, and we'll definitely see them.
Oh, yeah. For surezies.
And that's about it.
I think that's about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with some more storyage for you.
Yep.
And in the meantime, good night.
Good night.